Alright, hopefully you guys can see me, because I can't really tell. I'm missing my tripod holder handy thingy for the bottom of my camera. Anyways, I'm Nick. What's up? A couple people have asked me to go ahead and make a channel about this build I'm doing. I'm not a super technical fabrication guy. I just fuck around in my garage. And I guess since no one's done the swap before, I'm gonna be the first. And you guys get to watch all the pros and cons that come out of this, and if I can even do it. So I guess let's get to the fun stuff, and I will show you the car. Alright, enough cinematics. I'm gonna go ahead and spin this camera around and show you guys what I've collected so far. Alright, first let me grab my trusty light here. If you guys don't have a good light and you're looking for one, I recommend this Cyclops. They're like $30, $35. They have 3 stages of brightness, and yeah, it's really bright and it's awesome. I have 2 actually. Well, that's not it. I have a second one somewhere around here, but we won't worry about that. So first and foremost, the 5.3 typical junkyard motor. I have the L59 out of a flex fuel truck. Only real upgrade to it so far is the LS1 cam I put inside and the LS1 intake as well that I got off a buddy for pretty cheap. Other than that, it's just a standard truck motor. So moving on, we have the 5.3 Trailblazer SS headers. Honestly, in short, the runners are just tight and fit really well if you want to be space efficient. If that's even the right way to word that. Yeah. Anyways, I should probably actually point that out. I'm sorry, guys. This lovely beast that came in this car is the q45 from Nissan. It's kind of actually our performance V8. It's not a bad get-up, but this one's worn 225,000 miles. Factory, it makes like 340 horsepower. Some amount of torque I don't know, because honestly, I didn't do much with this car besides put it on a trailer and take it home. It is, it's your standard V8. It makes good power. I did get to rip one burnout in it. I'll probably throw that in the video here. Other than that, it just comes standard equipped with an automatic. It's a luxury sedan. It's supposed to tote you around and have a little pep, but there's not much aftermarket to it, so honestly, that's what I gotta say to that. This next box here, obviously intercooler piping. I've got a map sensor in the box. Solid motor mounts for an S13 that I'll probably try and make work with this. I can't tell what else is at the bottom because it's been a while since I've been through this box. Small knickknacks. Standard brackets and accessories. These are actually the 5.3 factory truck mounts. I saw a nice little nice idea on Old Shitbox Nation that I'm gonna actually try and attempt that they use in the 350Z. Hopefully it works out well for me. This is the F-Body LS1 front sump oil pan. The VK in this actually comes with a front sump, so I shouldn't have to modify much. It should actually drop in very nicely. If not, we'll do the classic subframe notch and call it good. Pedals, like I said, this was automatic only, so I nabbed some pedals out of a 350Z. I don't really know how well I can fit a clutch pedal in this car as well as a master cylinder, but that's part of the fun. To go along with that, I actually have a rebuilt CDO-1 here from a 350Z. Should hold good power. We are going to use the Autosports Engineering adapter plate to mate it to a T56 bell housing and slap it over onto our lovely V8 over there. And obviously going junkyard motors, so we're going to go pretty cheap and use an Imusa GT45 big ass whirly boy, and goals to break 600 horsepower. I've got some other stuff besides, you know, the basic map and cam and intake, injectors. So we'll work around and see. I've got a pretty good tuner here in town who's going to work with me, and hopefully we can make this thing, I don't know, break some necks, literally, figuratively, physically, something like that. Moving on to the inside, I apologize. Before I even open this door, I apologize because last year I kind of started taking the car apart and I ended up moving this year, and it's been sitting in storage for a little bit. And let's just say I jammed a lot of stuff inside this car to make the move. So, inside, we have a lovely black and wood grain interior. Something you kind of expect from a $60,000 car new. Has all kinds of bells and whistles, fancy gauge clusters, navigation, backup cam. I mean, power everything. It is a nice piece, and I'm gonna fuck it all up. I actually nabbed for the steering wheel here. This is actually an NRG short hub for a 350Z G35, which luckily I can share a few things with those cars with this car. So I went ahead and got that, grabbed an NRG wheel, tried to kind of match the wood, but it did not work out, so I'll probably switch wheels down the road. And yeah, that's that. You know, gotta have my race car stuff in my race car. Right now, still got the auto in there because I've not pulled anything, so that will be switched. And we also have a lovely other addition that will match up here that is not in the car I see currently. So I'll show that here in a second. But just a quick peek around of the other nonsense I have. Underglow, because that's totally coming back in the drift scene, so swag points. Now, let's take a peek inside my lovely 240 here. You can kind of see here, we have an ASD handle with a Wheelwood master cylinder. This came from a buddy of mine who had a 350Z, and he LS swapped his and made a sweet drift car, and then he decided to change chassis, so I got that kit off of him. I was a little courageous because obviously drifting an Infiniti sedan is not a common thing unless you're Chris Forsberg. Other than that, there are not a lot of people who mess with these. G35 sedan, yes, but anything higher than that, no. So after taking careful looks at suspension design and pretty much everything in the rear end of these cars, I had a real good idea. Let's dual caliper swap this and add a handbrake. So I managed to fit a 350Z, I don't remember what the brand was, pretty much a 350Z dual caliper kit on here, and it worked out well. Besides the tow arm here in the front, it did not fit. Basically, to make this work on a q45, that's an F50 model, you have to get the 350Z rear knuckles, the tow arm. I think that's it actually. I don't think I got anything else. Oh, and you have to use both for both calipers, 350Z calipers. The one up front is a q45. It's actually not bolted into both holes, it's only in one right now. And then the rear is the 350Z. The spacing for the bolt holes is different. So if you guys ever come down this path, you have to use 350Z calipers for both sides, or else you're not gonna be able to do slidey thingies. So once I get the adjustable 350Z tow arm, I can fix this horrible tow out I got pushing this onto a trailer, and we will be great. Everything will be good. I know a lot of people like garage, you know, I shouldn't say garage videos, but they like to see how other people's garages are set up and the things they have in space, blah, blah, blah. We're all guys, we like that shit. So I guess I'll show this off because I have a decent setup, so I can't really complain. I am renting this place, so it's kind of a shared unit, which really isn't that bad. It's just they have some random stuff in here. So, you know, toolboxes and all my stuff that I have from my old garage. My welding stuff, engine hoist, couple bucket seats, spare wheels, and parts from a 240. So if you guys are looking for 240 parts, hit your boy. My bike, she's had a fun life. We had an accident once. Somebody pulled out in front of us, so she's not the prettiest, but she still gets down. Obviously the Infiniti, and my new chassis 240, which has the heart and soul, not of my old car because it is cursed, but I did switch over just about everything from that, you know, so I can get back out and drift scene with something a little less dangerous than this thing. You know, basic Cobra wheel reps, and yeah, it's just a standard full interior 240 this time. Did a manual swap on it. I'm not trying to go back and slide without interior. Has AC, was a one owner car. I totally bought it to, you know, ruin one car owner things. 50 trim on it, basic fuel, you know, 555 from STI injectors, Z32 MAF, all that other nonsense. Currently working on making this work with a top mount manifold, but let's see if you can see hella close here to the master cylinder. So we're gonna make a dump that goes upward so we don't run into the AC line here, and just, you know, hood dump and try and build a badass heat shield and wrap so I'm not catching the car on fire. But this thing will be back up for spring. So right now it's just sitting because I'd rather mess with this V8 over here. Daughter's Audi, all the other nonsense. I mean, it's spacious. It's really nice because I can have all my toys in here with space to move. And honestly, you know, pole barns are the way to go. This is life. That's pretty much it. That's all I have for you guys. This is really just an introduction video. I don't know if I can get this to work. Hold on, let me go back to my trusted spotlight. Alright, that's all I got. You've seen the car. You have seen my parts that I have so far. I'm going to slowly over winter get everything out. You know, I'm a parent, go to school full time, work full time. I help other people with their cars. I try and game on the weekend. So this is gonna go at a kind of turtle's pace, but the goal is spring, and yeah, the goal is spring. I will upload pretty much anything I can to help the future community. Like I said, I don't think anyone's 5-speed swapped this car, or 6-speed, or manual in general. No one's done an LS swap, and yeah, no one's drifted this car. Well, that's a lie. There's a guy in Japan who was selling, but it was stock AF, so I'm just gonna go kind of full blown and make something sweet. If you guys have any questions, obviously hit me up in the comments, send me a message. I guess you can subscribe and send a like. That'll be nice. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Alright, because I'm a terrible YouTuber and this is kind of my first time, but not really my first time, but my first time taking it serious. This is my 2006 Infiniti q45. I totally forgot to put that in the video. Yeah, sorry guys.